Hi guys, welcome back to Cowboy Divine. I'm so excited to be here today. Today we get to focus on all the blessings coming your way. Some unexpected, and then this can be a confirmation for those who are manifesting. I would like to start with a disclaimer. So general readings are just that. They're general. They're for confirmations and not so much answers. If you are looking for answers to anything in your life, I do recommend that you book a private reading with a tarot reader. And if you'd like to book with me, I now have all of that information in the description box below. If this is not your first rodeo, I will see you at your timestamp. If it is, let's get down to that. So what you're going to use is your intuition or gut feeling to see which pile is drawing you in the most. Once you've made that decision, you'll scroll down to the comment box or the description box, find your timestamp, and I will meet you at your reading. Hi, Pile 1. Welcome to your reading for everyone who chose what I'm calling the Void. So, I'm not 100% how this photo came to be. I think I might not have thought there were any remaining film left in my Polaroid camera. And I just sort of fired it off, and guess what? There was. That's cool. So that in and of itself is sort of an unexpected blessing when you think of it. But I am getting ahead of myself. So what I really want for my group ones to do is to just take a moment to sort of tap into this energy. The more you make an effort to sort of feel into, the present moment right now, the more I can link into your energy on the sort of time and space, continuum. Do you understand what I'm saying? That probably sounds so confusing. So the reason why these readings, or maybe any reading you find on YouTube, can be considered timeless is because timelines, the way we think of them in our sort of present mind, is that time is linear, except the reality is, we are infinite and time is not linear. Okay, yeah, infinite. We have the magician here under the deck. So what I'm really saying and asking for you to do is to link up with me, in the future. So you're watching this when it gets posted tomorrow, and I'm recording it now on Wednesday. So how am I linking into your energy? Well, what I'm doing is going to sit and have done as I drew these cards. I sort of sat and asked my guides to connect with you. And what I'm asking for now is for you to connect with me so that we link up, somewhere in time and space. And that way this reading will just be that much more, in tune to who you are and what is going on in your life right now. So, back to this void card. To me, there is nothing more inspirational and creative and able to birth life and creative ideas more than the void. Okay, so we're taught to be afraid of the dark, and that has some sort of primal instinctual merit. But the void is where all new life comes from. Nothing new can come outside of the void. It all comes from the void. And what's really cool about this card is I have, if you saw in the close-up, three little sparks, okay? Three little pieces of lightning that look like they're on the card. It's kind of really beautiful. And honestly, some people in this group might be more interested in the paranormal and might think that this has something to do with spirit bodies or just energy that came through. And that can be you, and a confirmation that, you chose the right pile. So before I get into the tarot, I'm going to do something totally different. I'm going to go ahead and draw messages from the void. I feel like it only makes sense for all my pile ones who chose this sort of black card, this sort of this this black hole expanse. So let's just see what comes through. And you know what? I'm going to do it totally differently. I'm going to just... There's one. I'm feeling generous today. Maybe there's two. There are two. Okay. Okay. So, wow. It's okay for it just to be a hobby. It's okay for it to just be a hobby. So, to me, this is talking about... So I feel like some of you are in a job that's not your absolute favorite, or chose a path in school that's not your absolute favorite, or some sort of decision, and you've been bringing all sorts of new ideas into being, potentially from the void. And I think that we're trying to balance between what is for us and what we want to focus a lot of our energy on, what we want to call into being. And sort of sorting through what is the hobby and what is, the professional passion that we want to pursue. And this message, it's okay for it to just be a hobby. When I was embarking on my career in art, from the very beginning, very, very young, so like 10 or 12, I was always told that art was never going to be something that was going to be fruitful, the starving artist. I hate that name, first of all. And after doing art for quite a while, I started to realize that I wasn't producing art the way I used to as a kid. When I was much younger, I was making art, to sell. What can I make to sell? I'm doing this drawing, I was really into it. And then all of a sudden, halfway through the process, I'm like, okay, can I turn this into a poster? Do I want to turn this into a painting, a postcard? Like, how can I turn this into something to sell? And that really changed my relationship with art. Okay, it never ruined it for me, but I only came to this realization kind of recently. So it's okay for it to just be a hobby. I think a blessing coming towards you is maybe an understanding or a new hobby. Some new creative aspect is coming into your life, and I just want you to know, my guides, your guides, the universe, the void, want you to know that it's okay for it to just be a hobby. If this isn't, 1000% like in line with you, you don't know how to make money at it, for example, it's okay for you to do it because that benefits you too. It fills your cup. So the next message, don't smother it. Okay? Don't smother it. A blessing coming from not smothering it. I think that one's pretty self-evident. If you have a creative work that you've been working on and you've sort of been pouring a lot of energy into it, I think right now the blessing coming through is going to happen when we pull back, when we give it a little space, when we take maybe an aerial view to sort of get above what we're dealing with. And I am getting sort of a creative read here, but this also, when I say creative, I think anything to do with sort of like the flowing, sensing waters, okay? Which is the cups. The cups to me represent dreams, feelings, everything intangible, psychic powers, those kind of things. So don't smother it. To me, could be a relationship, a new spark on a project. Maybe you do have a grand idea. Yeah, that feels right. And you really, really like this idea more than maybe your current job, maybe more than going back to school, maybe more than your degree. Try to find out where this is tapping in for you. And it's okay for this new thing to come in and just be a hobby, maybe at first. Maybe let's give it a chance to sort of grow, and let us give it a chance to be experimented with, okay? I feel like that's something I could really talk about passionately right now. I have a bunch of different styles regarding tarot readings, and the one thing when I started this channel was that really important to me was not to smother it, to allow myself to make mistakes creatively, because that's where I, learn the most, okay? There really is no such thing as a mistake if you can take on that mindset, The best thing to do at this point in your life, if you're young, is to fail as hard as you possibly can. That message just came through. That was important for someone. Is if you're failing as hard as you can early on, you're learning the most. You're gaining the most perspective, and that's going to help you in so many ways in your life. So that's where we're starting so far as blessings coming in. I think we're getting some space, and we're getting, this new hobby coming in. I think that in and of itself is going to lift you up. It's going to bring, a breath to the psyche. So now diving into the tarot. So you guys have, a really great spread so far. Not only do we have the Magician under the deck, which literally says you have all the tools at your disposal and you are this magician. He's as above, so below. You guys have the power to think and bring it into reality. Think about wanting a horse and finding that horse and, riding that horse. Thinking about moving, finding the house and moving. So you guys really have that coming through right now. I think the blessing in your life right now is that you're really strong in a magnetic sense, in an energetic sense. You're really able to call down whatever you want. And that is so highlighted by having not only the 10 of Cups, but the 9 of Cups. This card, regardless of its orientation, is a wish card. Just real quick, these pieces of glass just let me know the original orientation of the card was reversed. Just so you guys aren't wondering. So this wish card, I'm honestly going to take a second and ask my pile ones to just make a wish. Because with the Magician here, the 10 of Cups and the 9 of Cups, holy cow, okay? So I'm going to give you guys a couple of seconds and you can just pause the video if you want to think about something, the more precise the inquiry, the more accurate, and the more faster it's going to come down. Again, feel free to pause the video if you need a little bit longer than that to make that wish, but I am going to move forward. So starting with the 10 of Cups, okay? So the rainbow, that could be significant for you. I just see, a happy time. I see a couple or a person who is looking at their future and seeing, all that they brought into being. They feel satisfied with it. And the 10 of Cups is just a really happy time. 10 for me is the end of a cycle. So I think a blessing coming through is just, again with this don't smother it, I feel like you guys are getting space, It feels like they're really far out in the country. They've got their home that they're quite far away from, I feel this sense of space. You guys are getting, maybe a breath of fresh air, maybe going somewhere, but also just maybe, some family bliss. Maybe things around the house are going to be a lot more blissful for you at this time. Or with this 10 energy, the end of a cycle, I think you're going to be able to successfully move forward in a new direction. And I see that with the Hanged Man as well. So this enlightenment that we have going on his head, also in the rainbow here, and carried through with so much yellow. Yellow to me is a color of intelligence and communication and awareness, okay? So being in reverse, this guy, he is standing up, he's no longer hung from the T-cross right here, the Tau cross. He has gained that new perspective. So I see that you guys have gained the new perspective. Upright, this says that you need to gain a new perspective. In reverse, you have, okay? And it seems like this area of your life, this family area of your life, relationship area of your life, it seems like that is really fruitful at this time, and it's allowing you to move forward into enlightenment, self-awareness is also what I'm getting. So the Queen of Wands, upright, tells me that a blessing coming in your life is this Queen of Wands. So someone who really embodies passion, someone who really motivates you, someone who has a lot of new ideas. But it's also about, since we have another wand card here, this could be about life purpose, okay? So I think this woman coming through, or man, so there's no gender in tarot, not how I read tarot. This character who's really inspirational and passionate and motivational to you, who might have a lot of energy, is going to inspire much the same with you, especially because we have the wish card coming afterwards, okay? And I think that in reverse, this one is telling me right now that you need to turn this wish towards you. And that that's not a selfish thing. I think when we put ourselves first, we put ourselves in the best position to help other people anyways. But right now this we're calling to focus on ourselves, which is pretty cool. So what else about this Queen of Wands? Okay, so I see this sunflower right here and the courageous lions behind her back. You're having more willpower right now. And back to spirituality and life purpose, I think that your life purpose, if you don't know what it is your blessing coming through. So I'm seeing this illumination in the hangman in the rainbow. I'm seeing that image carried right here in the sunflower. It's so brilliantly lit. If you think about, the head, the face of the sunflower being the face of the hanged man, and then the radiating, blooms and petals around. Honestly, right now, my sunflower bed is blooming too, which is amazing. So that's great energy. Sunflowers might be really significant to you. And I'm just sensing that you are blooming, which is so cool. Because we also have all of these blooms. Only in the Magician and in the Queen of Pentacles do we have a rose garden. And do we have this sense of blooming right here. So I'm really getting this really fruitful area in your life, time in your life coming through. After this, new perspective that you're gaining. You're getting a new perspective and that frees you up, okay? Inspired by this character coming through as well, you're going to get a lot of new ideas. Potentially first stages of, bringing in this new hobby, this creative work. You're going to start it. You're going to have so much energy, at least, and motivation to move forward. And I do think it's from this new perspective that's, sort of been brought into being from this happy family time, or just relationship-wise with your friends, with your romantic partner, with your pets, relationship at work. It just seems really positive and happy right now. So the Nine of Cups, I'm not really feeling anything else from this guy. We made that wish, and I think that this Queen of Wands is going to help you identify what you want. But my advice to you right now is to turn this wish into you. Turn that sort of desire inwards to see, what do you want, pile one, and you can call it into being, okay? You have the Magician here. It's just so cool. Such good energy for pile one. So the Two of Swords. Okay, so upright, usually, outside the intention I put for this reading, it tells me that we're stuck on a decision and we're not able to make it, okay? Now, through the lens that I am putting this reading, so what blessings are coming our way, to me it says an increase in your psychic ability. So we've got the great flowing water here. We have the sickle moon too. And the Queen of Wands, talks about life purpose and spirituality. So I think, especially with the Hanged Man, it makes sense that this card is talking about, enhancing your intuition. Okay, your intuition is going to be powerful moving forward. Okay, gaining this new perspective, this sense of peace, and passion. What else could you want? To have inner peace and to have energy to do the things we want, but also creative, feeling creative. That feels amazing to me. And then Seven of Wands, so this looks like, because it's 7 towards the higher end of the spectrum, closer to 10, it seems like we have, the stage of development is a little bit further along, okay? I think this hobby that seems to be coming through, this relationship that seems to be coming through, something along those lines. Again, try to see where that's tapping into you, what I'm referring to. It's going to mean something different to everyone. But it looks like we're able to set realistic boundaries. We are setting the limits that we have. And I think that this feels just freeing to me. We have a lot of blue energy here, okay? So it seems like, again, that breath of Psyche, this pale, pale light blue, it just feels like we can breathe again, is what I'm getting from here. And we have our life purpose, and we're really, we feel really inspired about that and motivated, to enact this new change. And I just keep getting drawn back to this thing, don't go maybe don't go whole hog, don't leap in the water, get your feet wet, and just don't smother it, because I feel like it really is a fruitful time moving in, moving forward for you guys. So I do want to draw a couple more cards. I'm going to draw from this deck that I created. So this deck is all about the keys to unlocking your prosperity. Wow. So we have the pomegranate, a really fruitful time moving forward, okay? This is just a little quick message for some of you. You might want to balance your root chakra. Look up a sound bath that is specifically for the root chakra, and I think that will help you gain this new perspective, okay? So if our root chakra is, blocked and stagnant, it tells me that we're living in a little bit of a place of fear, or that we're not fully taken care of. We don't have all of our basic needs as a human being satisfied. And sometimes that's not reality, okay? Sometimes that's just, a feeling of anxiety, which is truly intuition without a channel, okay? So garnets, I see garnets over here too, and the garnets to me talk about red. I see life power and energy and just sort of like a new lust for life coming through for my pile ones. And let's see with this deck. So this guy I actually just created last night. I love the gold and the red together. So my original intention for this deck was maybe more of like a love aspect, but not necessarily. Okay, so we have quite a few. Cool. First off, collecting. Okay, so maybe we are collecting new ideas. Okay, that's what I heard first. Something with this hobby, this idea. I feel like we're going to be so inspired by whoever we meet, or there's new perspective that we've gained for ourselves, that we did for us, or this wish that we brought forward, this thing that we bought for ourselves is something that this Nine of Cups in reverse could be talking about too. We're collecting new ideas, new energy as well. That came through pretty loud. Okay, so say it with a nudge. This card to me talks about something needing to be voiced, some opinion that you have. So I am getting a love reading, we do have these cup energies, so we'll draw from that romance deck soon. But say it with a nudge says, to wear your heart on your sleeve a little bit, to really tell this person how you feel, to know what you're saying, so choose your words wisely, okay? The sword energy is really about the communication of ideas and words. So if this is the decision that you're in, for some of us this is real blessing coming forward of intuition, heightened psychic abilities turning on kind of energy. But for some of us, it's talking about having the right energy to have an argument that could potentially, a conversation that could be an argument, but this is a blessing reading, so I'm sensing that you're going to be able to say it impactfully, without being overly aggressive is what I'm getting. And an invitation, to get all of it out. Okay, say it with a nudge, get everything out, tell the whole truth is what I'm getting. So the last little card for this deck is the Virtuoso. So yeah, that's incredible. So some of us are extremely creative right now. We're benefiting from so many amazing creative ideas. Also, some of you are at your top of your game, okay? Some of you really have... Virtuoso just means that you are absolutely, without a doubt, blessed in that creative field. You could be an amazing singer, an amazing painter, amazing at whatever you're doing. That is the blessing coming through. You're going to get an up-leveling of creative power, okay? That is coming through quite strongly. Look at this. These cup energies, so high, that's abundant, And it's also, someone needs to hear that you are really good, okay? You're really good at painting. You're really good at singing. You're really good at writing. Very, very good. And you're being a little too hard on yourself, and maybe you don't see it. And I think that maybe for you, you're going to experience, this shift in perspective. You're going to see and be able to appreciate yourself is what I'm getting. You're going to be able to see how amazing you really are, Seriously, you got the Virtuoso card. That's without a doubt, okay? You're really talented. So one last deck before we move on to the romance. Let's see. Two of these. Oh my god. Okay. A surprise and a dose of sunshine. So some of you are going on a trip, but also I'm getting with this dose of sunshine, this enlightenment. Okay. I think that for some of you, you really are waking up spiritually. I think you're coming out of the dark night of the soul. For some of you, that's a blessing coming through. And for some of us, we're just gaining a dose of sunshine, so enlightenment, the ability to communicate our ideas really smoothly and impactfully. We're gaining intelligence as well. There's just so much great yellow energy. And we're going to get a little surprise. That's amazing because that's a confirmation of both the rainbow and the wish card, okay? So there's something big coming in. Have the power to dream. How to have the power to dream really big right now, pile 1 is what I'm getting. That's amazing. So just for, a little wrap up of this, let's go ahead and draw from my romance deck. I was getting, this cup energy does definitely talk about love. So and the pomegranates too. It talks about fertility for me and just a really ripe, abundant time right now. So what's coming forward? What blessings in love and relationships are coming forward for my pile 1s? Children. Your love life is being affected by children. So for some of you, this is more of a childlike view of the world, Living, I think that's about enlightenment still. Living every day as if it was your birthday. I'm thinking of the sun card. Of course, sun everywhere. Your love life is being affected by children. With the fertility, this is very specific. Some of you are extremely fertile right now and you're going to be blessed with a pregnancy. I can't, disregard that message. Some of you are getting a new pet, okay? If you want that puppy, you wanted that kitten, just think logically through it. Do you have the time to walk a dog twice a day? Do you have the space, the right environment for a cat? Cats are extremely sensitive to their environment. If you have all of that, this is a time in your life. It looks like the blessing coming forward is a new pet. And for some of you, very specifically, this blessing is literally children, okay? So one more. Let's get one more card here. Keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from you in your usual type and expectations. Okay, so for me, I hope this is in frame. It might not be. For me, this is again talking about this enlightenment card, this hanged man. I think Dose of Sunshine. You guys are really opening up to a new way of thinking and it's unlocking a superpower. You're being extremely magnetic right now, okay? You're able to really call forward that what you want into being, okay? And keep an open mind. If we're manifesting something, it might not look exactly like we wanted, but if we just, take a different perspective, it might be exactly what we asked for. So maybe you were looking for a vacation. This is kind of a weak example, but instead you got 3 days off and you didn't get to go on a trip anywhere, but you got to go somewhere closer to home. And what you were really looking for was just a break from work, and it really cleared your head. So that didn't look like, a vacation to the Bahamas, but, going to the beach, going to the mountains for a great hike, just curling up at home, beautifying the house, that could be what you were really looking for. And this can literally be a person. So you're like, I'm only attracted to blondes, and they have to be this tall and have this for their credentials and this la 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 la. Maybe keep an open mind. You might turn away, and in fact, you truly will turn away so much if you have a really rigid idea of what you want it to be. Now, I think it's also amazing to know exactly what you want, so don't think that I'm discouraging that, but also we have a tendency as humans to block a lot of abundance coming through because we're just not accepting it because it doesn't look exactly to the T what we asked for. And just keep an open mind, okay? So that's what I'm getting for blessings for my pile 1. This is an incredible energy that I'm getting right here. A really great, fruitful time coming through, okay? So if this resonated, I would love to see a really big thumbs up. If you want to see more messages like this in the future, you can press subscribe. And until then, stay divine because you are. Hi, Pile 2, everyone who chose, the Three Musketeers, the Three Horses by the Trough. I think for you guys, the blessings coming in is a new soul family, is what I'm getting. People who, relate closer to your ideals and dreams and some stuff that relates to you. I'm seeing friendship, kind of love, honestly, coming through, but I am getting ahead of myself. So, what I want from my group twos in order for this reading to really resonate is to sort of really take a moment right now and to feel into these cards, into this energy, and to really bring your mind present. So, like, let's make sure we're not watching, with a TV on in the background, with our phone scrolling. Let's just tune into this energy because it helps me get into, provide the most accurate messages for you when you are tuned in. So I am recording this on Wednesday and it gets dropped, Thursday the next day. So, how can these messages be timeless? Well, time really isn't linear, okay? So if I'm, when I sit and I draw these cards, I really try to link in with you and everyone who chooses, the specific pile I'm on. And in order for me to really get into your, energy state, I have to have you linking where you are, me linking where I am, and that'll just, bring us together in the time and space, okay? So just take a second to really feel into this because that way, you receive the most confirmations that way and you just receive the best messages. So moving forward, back to the Polaroid you guys chose. So I wanted to share a story, and I think this is important for some of you. So I was going on a hike, and I had my Polaroid camera. I really wanted to take some photos, and I drove past these horses on the side of the road, and I was like less than 1 minute from where I was going to go hiking, and I drove past, and I thought as I was driving by, I was like, oh gosh, that would be such a great photo. And I couldn't find somewhere to turn around, and I was just like, yeah, whatever. And so I kept driving, and then I was like, you know what? Just do it. Experiment. Live life as if it was an experiment. You don't have work to go to. You're going on a hike. So, it takes 2 seconds. So I kept driving, I found a spot to turn around, and I drove back and walked right up, and all 3 horses pricked their ears up, and I snapped my picture. And honestly, this is my favorite Polaroid I've ever taken. It was so natural, and I love that I just went back and did it because now I have this to show for it. I think that's really important for my pile twos. Now I also want to mix things up because these are blessings coming our way. I'm going to draw from the void first. So let's see if there's anything that wants to come. There's 1. Let's do 2. There's 2. Okay. So, blessings coming. Start with what you have. That is enough for now. Okay. So, this tells me that you energetically have, and physically, you have everything at your disposal. I think what's coming is creative power. For my pile twos, I think you have, everything at your disposal. You have all the tools there. It's just a matter of being resourceful. And I think that my pile twos are being gifted with, the ability to be resourceful. So to be able to work with what you have. So I just told this story on my last reading. I needed a table to do these readings, and I had a number of them, but they weren't perfect. They weren't at the right height. But I had this. I had 2 of these window doors things that go on a bureau inside the house, and I didn't like them, but I had them taken off quite a while ago, and I realized since I do a lot of building things like that, I have a lot of scrap wood, and I was like, wait. I'll just build myself a table. And it worked perfectly. It's at the exact height I want. It's nice and solid and sturdy, and didn't have to go out and, waste buying another one. I had spare tables for days. And, that's really about being resourceful. So I think you guys are getting this creative water, okay? So the ability to, think differently, especially with this Fool card. I'm getting ahead of myself again, but I see you guys being able to take a leap of faith. So, don't get caught waiting for the other shoe to drop. I love this message. This one I have kept inside the messages from the void because I feel like it is so poignant. So many people could really benefit from this. So I manifested some pretty big things recently, and one of them being the studio that I'm in now. And I realized that regardless, of all the great things I brought in, there was a number of other things as well. I was just like I wasn't sitting in this place of happiness and success and abundance. I was just like, it's gonna be taken from me. Something's gonna come in and I just gotta move on, or like something's gonna change. It's gonna take it all away from me, and don't get caught waiting for the other shoe to drop. Live in this moment of abundance, okay? And I think that in a blessing lens, this is telling me that you guys are going to be able to, have a freer mind is what I'm getting. You're not going to have as much anxiety coming forward is what I'm getting as well. So let's move into the tarot. The little glass pieces just remind me of the original orientation. The ones that have glass was reversed. I just think in a visual sense, they look nicer upright for you guys to read. So right off the bat, we have a lot of yellow coming through. And what I'm getting from this yellow is, intelligence, okay? I think that we're bringing a new understanding of some aspect of our lives into being. It's also of communication. So we're going to be able to really communicate effectively, mean the words we say. Now, specifically with the Fool card, in reverse it says leap of faith. Upright it says new beginning, and I'm getting both. I think that there's some sort of creative project, some relationship as well. Try to sort of tap into what angle this is for you, because cups to me, they mean relationship, but they also honestly can be talents, even though pentacles are talents. And they also very much mean relationships. So, try to gauge where this is. It'll help you have a better reading. The Fool. So we're taking a leap of faith. We're going to have maybe this new sense of presence, less anxiety. So we're going to be able to go for what we want. We're calling in for sure friendship and love and some sort of soul family. So the Six of Cups card is a really nostalgic card for me. The white lilies are, they mean thought. Roses right here, love. And sixes to me, you have two of them. And six to me is about harmony and love as well. So I keep saying love. So without further ado, I really feel like I'm going to pull into my romance deck. So for my pile twos, I see you guys bringing forward, these three horses remind me of the Three of Cups card. So that's my party card, my celebration card. And I'm getting that energy here. I think we're, hanging out with our friends. Blessings coming through. We're going to have a new soul family, new friendships coming through, and new love for some of us, okay? Past life relationship. You have known each other before. Wow, okay. So in a blessing sense, soulmate is what I just heard. Past life relationship. I'm getting just this really sensual vibe. It honestly looks like they're at Stonehenge. And there's a beautiful rose you can just barely see right here, She's being embraced from behind. She's got that green garb that's really making me look at this Six of Wands here. This card right here says success. Success all over it, okay? Not to mention, getting ahead of myself, we have the Wish card, you guys. So if love is what you're after, I think that, some of you have a blessing coming through of calling forward love. And some of you are having, in your current relationship, you're going to have, a happier period, a passionate period, okay? Because the Wands talk about passion as well. And we have a lot of passion here, written all over. Even with the moon, I look at that card in a number of lenses, but one of them is just, passion that rises to the surface. So let's get one more card for love. Make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. Okay? So take a leap of faith, ask the person out. I think you are asking someone out. You have someone on your mind in love. This could be a friendship. I think that you should invite them over. You should make the first move. Yes, that's what I'm getting. So it looks like for some of my pile twos, love is in the air. That is a blessing coming through, and definitely for sure friendship. Okay? So moving into the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups is a wish. So I really would like to just pause right here and just take a second. I want my pile twos to make a wish. Feel free to pause the video if you need a little bit longer than that. But for me, this is just such an abundant card. In this lens, of blessings coming through, I think you're going to get whatever you wish for, okay? We have so much gold, yellow, enlightenment. So the more specific the inquiry, I think the more blessing you're going to receive. So feel free to, really go for it. Be very specific. I want the 2019 Subaru Outback in black, okay? Those kind of questions. And it's going to be the touring package as well. So really, make it a tall order, a tall glass to fill. You can ask for anything. The blessing coming through, it's incredible you guys got the wish card, because so did pile 1, which is amazing. And your wish card is followed by 6, more harmony. You guys are really moving into a period of your life, I see, that, inspires you, okay? Passion, motivation, life purpose, and spirituality are all over this card, but also all over the suit of wands, okay? It seems like you're able to, inject a lot of love into your current situation because you've done this before, is what I'm getting. You have some sort of creative talent that's coming through pretty strongly, and you're getting a lot of success. You're getting recognition from it, okay? That's what I'm getting from the 6. Now, with the Justice, okay, so 11 is a master number, which tells me that, again, there's something that you guys are really, really good at. And this is a creative talent of yours that you've already done before, or have, past life experience with. Again, this could be really fruitful luck and just circumstances regarding your relationships, whatever lens this reading seems to be for you. Again, justice is going to be served, is what I feel like. If you, were wronged in the past, or you've been waiting on some sort of decision to come through, I think that you guys are getting that decision, it looks like. It seems like, the curtain is lifting. You're getting information, I think, that you didn't have before. There's some aspect of illumination coming through rather strongly. I think something's been coming up in our lives because under the deck we do have the moon. And in this reading, the lens of success or, abundance and blessing coming through, we're gonna be able to successfully deal with this impulse that keeps coming to the surface, okay? And for some of us, it is taking a leap of faith. With the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, it tells me that instead of a person walking into your life who embodies this queen, you are this queen. So it looks like some of my pile twos wishing for some, financial successes to come through. That's a confirmation. Not only do we have justice, success in the 6 of Wands, but you are the Queen of Pentacles, okay? I'm sensing that you guys are really able to get a balance between work and life. You're able to find a balance there. Only in the Queen of Pentacles and in the Magician do we have a rose garden blooming, okay? This rabbit here, rabbits for me, I really take towards the Native American interpretation, which is fear, okay? So in this sense, I'm getting that we're able to quell our fears, okay? We're no longer ruled by our fears. Yeah, there's just this element of illumination. And I think we're taking back control of our subconscious. Yes, especially with justice. My pile twos are able to control their thoughts moving forward. We're able to recognize when fear comes in and identify if it really is something that we should be afraid of. If it's not, boom, that just dissolved and that no longer has to sit on you, okay? So what else am I getting from this Queen of Pentacles? She embodies this, okay? This could be a hidden talent coming up. You're going to utilize a talent that you've had before, and you're going to take a leap of faith. You're going to go after that role, it seems like, okay? It seems like you're going to go after that singing job. You're going to, have the courage and love, and support to move into a more harmonious period in your life, maybe regarding work. Okay? For some of you, this is relationship based, but for some of you, this is more career. I think you're having a fruitful time in career, or you might be manifesting your life purpose, okay? And you're going to have success regarding that. Right now, your guides are just saying that you are this Queen of Pentacles over and over and over again, okay? So what else is drawing me to her? Oh gosh, so we've got this green garb on her, and I've never noticed that this exact garb is on this Justice card, okay? The same pattern, this same material that this seems to be woven after. So she has this red, smock dress that looks very similar to his. What does that mean? Okay, and even carried through right here. And I thought early on that this green, what does this mean? I feel like this is really symbolic and really significant. Okay, green, success, new beginning, but also prosperity and money. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead right now, as I let that sit on the back burner, I'm going to move forward with some keys to your prosperity. Okay, infinity. Okay, the stars. Maybe some of you, because we have the moon as well. As far as a blessing coming forward, this could be a trip somewhere far where you're able to look at the stars. Okay, I get this aspect of, something in the distance, at the foot of the Blue Mountains, there is a rose garden. I think some of us are going back to our childhood home. Okay, some of us are going home to celebrate some sort of success. It feels like a homecoming. The stars to me are our home. We're all made out of stardust. It also talks about our infinity nature, okay? The infinite nature of our soul. And again, this does feel like enlightenment or, a freeing perspective to know that, this is just the current incarnation. What do you want to bring into being this time around the planet, in this life? I think you're able to identify what that is. The moon coming through again. Wow. Okay. So the moon for me in this aspect is about illumination of some sort of self-limiting belief that you had before, or something that just kept coming through and plaguing you, holding you back from wishing and wanting more. The blessing coming through is when this aspect surfaces, you're going to be able to identify that as fear and not you or your reality, and let it go, okay? Some of you are being told to use the cycles of the moon for manifestation, okay? That's what I'm getting pretty strongly. The moon and the stars, Cosmic Love. That song by Florence and the Machine is my absolute favorite song. The stars, the moon, I'm always in this twilight. So some of that was a big confirmation for you guys. I don't know why I felt the need to share that. I just get like a really dreamy period maybe coming forward for you guys. Some aspect like that, which is pretty cool. It's also, okay, dig a little deeper, I'm being told, with this moon card. Okay, let's get a little bit of a clarifier. I'm going to choose this little yellow deck. What's going on? What's coming? Oh my god. So that's pretty cool. We have BFF, so you guys are manifesting a soul group. That's undeniable, but look how incredible. You got Wild Side. This is the moon again, okay? So we both have the anima and animus in us, the tamed and wild side in us, and that has to be tamed and brought into a fertile conjunction in order to take control of your life, in order to steer it in a new direction. That's what the moon is about to me. And it looks like something is coming up. Some of us have been stuck in a rut. Some of us have had some sort of situation or something happen to us, and we haven't had the potential or the opportunity or the perspective to identify what that is and thus bring it into the light and dissolve it. That's what the moon is about. Also fear right here with a rabbit. The moment you identify where that fear is coming from, and it's often judgment outside of you. Okay, that's true. Once you're able to identify that fear and bring it into the light, it will dissolve. Okay, so wild side, this success coming through, it's very strong. I think some of you are bringing in best friends, soul groups. We're able to move away from home. Some of us are bringing in friends and relationships and love that's in closer alignment to who we really are. That's beautiful, and that's a huge confirmation. So it seems like we have a lot of friend connection and dealing with the past successfully moving forward. I feel like that's really important for my group too. Let's I'm gonna go finish up with this deck. What kind of blessings are coming for my group twos? Build it. Okay? Build it. This creative work, okay? This wish, you know? I think we're being supported with this energy. Start. Wow. Okay. So we're really being invited. I don't know if you guys can see up here the little African violet might be hiding. Start. But start and build it. They talk to me about maybe start your own tribe. Okay? Some of you are trying to call in new friends and maybe you're just sitting waiting. I think you're being, divinely guided right now to just do it yourself. Start today. If you're not calling in friends, this is definitely a creative work of yours. You could be writers, painters, video, you could be into video, anything with your hands, some sort of artisan ability, collecting. Okay, collecting and say it with a nudge. Okay. I'm getting, just really strong collecting a soul tribe, okay, is what I'm getting from that. Collecting information, because there is some aspect that hasn't come out into the light. And you're really being told to let your freak flag fly, okay? With this wild side and all this moon energy, it's a little sensual too, honestly, if I'm being honest. If you want to ask them out, say it with a nudge, Do a little behind the scenes research, see what, turns them on, I feel like you guys are being, supported with the power of words and the ability to, really illustrate your side. And you're just, really magnetic right now for love and friendship and relationships and anything to do with creativity, okay? Some of you might, again, I'm just being drawn. There is so much moon energy. The reference is 3, okay? So collecting to me, I think that some of you might be interested in learning more about working with the cycles of the moon. So right now we're approaching the full moon, okay? So now is a good time to bring forward, and to sow the seeds of intention to bring new, okay? This new beginning. The moon is like filling up with light, so it's collecting light and enlightenment information. You're gaining, something. When the moon is, waxing, we are gaining something. When the moon is waning, we want to, set intentions to let things fall away that no longer serve us. But right now, especially since the moon is waxing and we have it showing up so many times, it's a strong invitation that the blessing coming, or a strong indication that the blessing coming forward is, the ability to deal with our emotions successfully, to take back the wheel, to drive in a new direction. Some of us are in jobs, something that's not serving us creatively, and we really want the inspiration or the motivation to go forward. I think you should take this as a blessing and an indication to do so, Take this leap of faith, okay? Upright again, the Fool is a new beginning, which is what's going on here. In reverse, it's just leap of faith, leap of faith. You've got this, just take a leap of faith. Because look, success, wish, harmony, okay, justice being served, and you becoming the Queen of Pentacles is written all over this, okay? So if you really felt like this message resonated, I would love to see a big thumbs up or to talk to you guys in the comment section below. And if you want to see more like this in the future, you can press subscribe. And until then, I'll see you guys next time. Stay divine, because you are. Hi Pile 3, welcome to your reading for everyone who chose this Polaroid. So this Polaroid to me is so fun. It's not at all what I expected when I took it, but I love the result. So if you saw in the up close, there's actually a Siamese cat right here. His name is Bunny. So maybe that's the confirmation for some of you guys. And these little, they're black-eyed Susans are in the photo. There's bird bath over here. And then I get this, this sort of, Hey, some of you might be into UFOs and spirits. Yeah, we get this great strike of like blue lightning, honestly, is what I'm getting from it. But I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. So, what I want for my group three to do in order to receive the most confirmations and for this reading to resonate, I want you guys to really, turn the TV off, really tune into this, make sure we're not scrolling on our phone. I don't want to sound like, that person. But in order for me to connect energetically and link up with you on your timeline, I need you to sort of tune in and I'll meet you halfway. So time really, it isn't linear, it's, infinite. It's all happening, at the same time. So even though I'm recording this on Wednesday to upload it on Thursday, how am I going to link with you? Why is that timeless? How are tarot readings timeless? Well, the answer is, as I drew these cards, I was already connecting and tuning in with your energy. And so now it's sort of, out of faith that I connect with you. I need you to tune in here so that we meet somewhere on the timeline in order for you to receive, the most accurate messages. So back to this Polaroid. What I get from it is just this great, romantic, almost just this real dreamy quality. This character, this bunny jumping up, his eyes reflecting, like, I didn't even know he was there when I took this photo, and I just love it. It's such a cool photo. And I get this, this figure standing in the lawn, watching over the house. It fills me with this really sort of like noir, mystical even scene. It's almost like this Polaroid could be its own inspiration for a deck of oracle cards. And hey, that might actually be a confirmation for you to go forward and create that deck. And so moving forward into this reading, we know what blessings are coming in. Honestly, like, are you looking at this pile 3? Like, what? Whenever I get the sun card, I always just jump to it right away and say congratulations and you got it upright, which is amazing. So you guys are coming towards the end of some sort of path that you've been on, is what I see with this card. But it just says, like, great job. You've really done the work and you're about to reap some serious rewards of whatever that work was, to develop a new perspective, relationship, career, any of those kind of things. It's just a real great card to receive. I'm also connecting these sunflowers with the black-eyed Susans here. And I also actually, I don't even know how this is going to look on camera, but I have a sunflower that I keep by my desk. I have a whole bed of sunflowers right now that are blooming. Again, that might be another confirmation for you. I see sunflowers, blooming the sun so many times. Not only is it here in the Polaroid you chose, but in the star, in the Hanged Man. We've got great yellow energy here. The sun is quite literally the sun card, but also, again, underneath the deck we have Temperance, okay? So, along with the other readings, I drew the messages from the void first in a slightly different style. So, let's see if any want to come out for my, there we go, group 3. I'll take 2. So the first one, let's see. Oh, cool. I forgot I did this. So, wow. Quite literally, one of your blessings coming through is the void, okay? There is nothing written on this tab, nothing at all. So what is the void? Massive creative energy is what I'm getting. So no new comes anywhere else, but the void is the source of all newness, okay? Anything that you want to bring into being, ideas, something's never seen before, done before, thought of, heard of, all of that newness is literally, it comes from the void, that great divine spark, the big bang, that kind of energy. So this blessing coming through, this wild card, it's almost like you name it. It's that's so cool. I forgot I did that. But the other message is, okay, failure is the judgment you make after you stop something, okay? So going in line with, this message from the void, of getting the void, it seems like I just get this sense that because what this card is all about, it shows you that failure isn't reality, it's actually a judgment. Experience is reality, the experience of what you did. The building blocks, the tools you used, the steps you took, the time it took, those are all real. Judgments, intangible. It's something upstairs, in the mind. And what I'm getting is, a sense of control over your thoughts moving forward, because this really does have enlightenment. Maybe a blessing for some of you guys is a spiritual awakening. I'm also being told that you guys really should tap into your dreams and interpret them. It's just such a cool, dreamy spread. I mean, come on, we have the High Priestess and the Star and the Sun and Temperance. Like, I'm also being told this card is my absolute favorite in the deck. My interpretation of it has really grown over time, but 17, the number, is really important to me, and it might be important to you guys as well. So, talking about the star is about hope, okay? So, it seems like you guys are, the bits of glass are just visual indicators that the original orientation of the card was reversed, okay? So the star in reverse, what would that talk about? It seems like you guys are funding a new sense of self-confidence, okay? Your blessing coming forward, group 3, is self-confidence. I'm seeing that very strongly, okay? Yellow to me it's intelligence. It's communication as well. Enlightenment, okay? So it seems like we're getting hope after maybe a dark period, okay? So stepping into the light for sure, but what I'm getting is you're realizing your infinite power, okay? So you come from the void, okay? You are stardust. We all are stardust. And we are all, the individual star, but also we make up the cosmos together, okay? So one and the same, the individual, but also the universe. A really strong message that's coming through is that we are all, again, one and the same. What does that mean? Well, consciousness wanted to experience itself. And so that's why we have individual expressions, okay? Individual lenses, and that's what each individual human is, okay? Star power, okay? You are a star. I think that you're uncovering, again, self-confidence. You're realizing your ability to manifest, and you're turning on to the idea that you are God. And where does that come from? Tapping into your intuition, and this period of enlightenment. I think the moment that we wake up, and to me, waking up is realizing that you control your emotions. And if you control your emotions, you also control your actions. And if you're someone who can control both action and emotion, the tangible and the intangible, you're God. Okay? You got to realize that you have the ability to go anywhere you want, because you have the ability to think of that. You're able to identify what it is you want, an action plan to get there. And what I see for you in the star card as a blessing is you turning on to your star potential. Some of you might want to, go towards a movie star, is what I just heard. And you gain with this sense of hope, funding this self-confidence that's coming through as your blessing. You're able to take, your talents, your creativity, what makes you unique, and able to capitalize on that for some of you. Just able to make such a fruitful time, okay? So the star here, this nude figure, expose yourself is what I'm getting, or what I'm hearing. And her foot is on top of the water, okay? So this godlike quality, can walk on water. Some of you are Aquarius, like me, so that's pretty cool. The Hanged Man. So for me, along with this message of enlightenment, it seems like this self-confidence is bringing about, a new perspective as well. And I think this is you turning on to your godlike power. I think that this is such an extremely strong message for my pile threes. You guys are spiritually guided right now, so you have a lot of wand energy. Okay, you can even look at this Tau cross right here behind the Hanged Man as a big wand. Okay, so the wands, what do they represent for me? Life purpose, new ideas, spirituality especially. Their inspiration, passion, motivation, but also energy. So it seems like you guys are looking for a life purpose, and I think the blessing coming through is that for many of you, okay? Life purpose, you got your angel here, okay? The star card, the nude figure. Now again, there's no gender here. Oh, wow. So there's this nudity going on twice, actually. You guys, blessings upon blessings to my pile threes, okay? You guys are some magical people. There is just abundance in every single card here. Fast moving energy of the Eight of Wands. So for me, 8 is a number of mastery, but it also makes me think of the limniscate. Another word is the figure 8, the infinity symbol. So that talks about, again, your infinite nature. You're an angel. We just, forget that when we incarnate on this earth. It talks about, having now a lot of motivation after this new perspective you gained from receiving self-confidence. You have a lot of passion to go forward, and there's a celebration as a result. Okay, this could be an engagement for some of you. This could be some sort of just recognition or promotion, a period of sunniness, a happy period. Okay, it looks like a lot of happiness is coming forward for sure. Some of you might, celebrate by taking a trip, going somewhere, that treating yourself is what I was just told. Embarking. Okay, so some of you really are embarking down this path towards a life purpose, and some of you really are going through a spiritual awakening. Okay, that is the big overarching message. I know not everyone who does these, pick a card tarot readings is coming for spiritual messages, but this is undeniable, so that's what I'm going with so far. So motivated to move forward into a period of stability. Okay, so the 4 for me is a number of stability. And I think that in reverse, what this is talking about is being able to identify what it is you want in your life and thus being able to feel stable about it. I think you guys are feeling great after the self-confidence and new perspective coming through to move forward down this path. For some of you, again, that's the path of spirituality, fool's journey for some of you, which is a new path. And for others, it's just this yellow awareness, okay? This awareness of your emotions and your passions and what inspires you and just being gifted energy as a result. The High Priestess talks about tuning into your intuition, okay? And I think that this card is, the key to unlocking this card, the Sun. The Sun is a huge celebration for how far you've come. So my pile threes have, they've been on a journey, it seems like. You guys have, both of these cards talk about going somewhere. This Eight of Wands seems like going far in your life, but also maybe that's literal, like taking a trip. And this seems like arriving somewhere. And I think that we've gotten there, achieved this new perspective, as well as this sense of hope and self-confidence by tapping into our intuition. So we have the sun and the moon and the sun. So much solar, and energies going on. Some of you should use the cycles of the moon to, help with creative projects is also what I'm hearing. You're able to sort out, what serves you and what doesn't serve you moving forward. It seems like there's a choice that you want to make, and you are getting, a big boost, an injection of intuition and sort of just psychic prowess moving forward. Lots of water flowing in this card. So we have it here, this big lake in the 4 or the 8 of Wands. Huge pool here, 2 spouts even. She is evocative of water. She is behind the water as well, okay? And then we have all the flowing water in the Temperance card. What is water? Feelings, emotions, the intangible, dreams. I got a really huge dream reading. I think that this is talking about paying attention to our dreams, but also dreaming the future. Some of you could be prophetic, okay? So the scroll here that's half hidden talks about occult knowledge. Again, I'm just getting a sense that my pile threes could be occultists, So what would that look like in the form of a blessing? It just seems like you really are getting turned on right now or activated, and that would be a blessing for you. The Sun card is just celebration, okay? Live every day as if it was your birthday. Congratulations. You've come far into a really sunny period of your life, okay? It's just pure happiness. and it's just absolutely abundant. So the red flag right here, red is libido, red is willpower, red is passion, talks about fire, which is all over these wand cards. Okay, so it seems like your blessing coming forward is a lot of passion and inspiration, and that could be awakening some of you towards a spiritual path, but for others, it's all about life purpose, and I think that's an incredible blessing coming through. Temperance for me, just was a gauge. I like to see what's underneath the deck, and I think that was really just, there's always the message in Temperance: identify dreams and wishes that will encompass an entire life, your whole life's journey, not small things. Ask for big things is what I'm sensing, okay? You're close to your angels right now. The Temperance right here, is two ideas. We got that again with the High Priestess, and also, the Star card. It's like we have two ideas or two choices or two relationships that kind of seem opposing, but there's absolutely a fertile conjunction that can be melded. Okay, so some of you are welders or like to work with metalsmithing. Melding, that came out, that's not what I meant to say. There's a fertile conjunction that can be made, forged, okay? I'm just getting that sense that you guys are so angelic. You could even be, crystal souls, or if you identify with star seeds or any of that. This is a big confirmation for you guys. And, I want to draw a few cards. I'm not really getting a romance read on this. Kind of not at all. I did draw romance cards for the other deck, but I'm just kind of really not getting that with this one. So I'm just going to go with my gut, okay? So this green deck is really the keys to... Okay, again? This came out in the last spread. So we're really fertile at this time. Some of us could be wanting children. That's a very specific message. But there's just this nudity, this lovely, just sumptuous energy, okay? The child is just bearing itself, not afraid to be wholeheartedly itself. The star is another nude card. This, sumptuous ripe fruit burst open, garnets. Some of you might want to work with garnets at this time. We also have the pomegranate here, okay? So that's why that came out. Okay, thank you. So again, we're just drawing a lot of attention to this High Priestess card, which is intuition, which just says to me right now, in combination with the others, a period of fruitfulness, especially regarding all things spiritual. So it seems like moving forward, this quest to learn yourself, learn about yourself, to gain a new perspective, to free yourself, to release self-limiting beliefs, anything in spiritual in nature is really being supported right now. I want to draw another card. Okay. So for me, this card is, it really reminds me of my home in Maine. I live on a horse farm, and it was just, when I selected this image, it just made me feel like home. That's just what's coming through. Okay, this card is a homecoming as well. So relaxing. Okay, is the vibe. It's just, it reminds me of the valley that I lived in, and I love foggy mornings. Again, it's really dreamy. I just get this undeniable dream card. Let's pay attention to our dreams moving forward. Some of you really can dream the future, or you're being gifted that ability, okay? To work on the astral plane is another message for you guys coming through. It seems like you guys should definitely look into astral projection. Another way of calling it, it's called the phase. Out-of-body experiences. Okay, those all needed to come through. But specifically here, it's just this harmonious time, okay? It's just a real celebratory feeling. I just have relaxation is just coming to mind, which is interesting. But also bloom, okay? So look how prosperous, okay? There's blooms all over, and blooming all over the grass right here. There's blooms and fruit here as well. You can't deny the pomegranates, the sunflowers. You chose this blooming card. So I think you guys are coming into a new being, and it's because of this self-confidence that you're getting, from this new perspective, and it's just unlocking so much. I just have a sense to say, like, it's freeing you. I don't know where you guys have been, emotionally, but I just get a really amazing freedom coming through. That's another, interpretation of the nakedness, to just really expose yourself, to be free, to go after what you really want, what lights you up. What lights my pile 3 up, okay? What really makes you happy, okay? I used to be a professional photographer. I was wicked good. Still am wicked. Oh my God, that's how you know I'm from Maine. But, and I was told I won all sorts of awards. I 4.0 in every photography class, went to the Masters of Art, topped that class, got into my favorite school after that. I'm not bragging, I'm just saying, clearly successful at photography, it does not light me up, okay? I don't like it. I don't like the business aspect of it. I don't like how people are fake in the industry that I worked in. Just so many things, and I think that you have another star potential. If you're doing something that doesn't light you up right now, you are being divinely guided, you're just energetically is another way of putting that. You're being supported to go after what does light you up, what makes you unique, what is it about you? For me, it was photography. It was too simple. It came too naturally. I saw it, and it just, I really do have trouble explaining it. It was just a talent I have, okay? Yes, very, very good at it, but it didn't light me up, it didn't encompass who I am. And I think that you're being, your blessing coming through is going to be accepting who you are. And that's an amazing blessing. You might not want to think or you might not think that that's the most incredible thing. You wanted money, but think about this. When you're put in the driver's seat and you take the wheel, you're able to identify your emotions. Again, you're a God, okay? In that aspect, we're all little gods, little visions of God, so consciousness can experience itself. And I think that being able to be in the driver's seat puts you in the absolute best position to steer your life in any direction you want. And that's what I'm getting here. It's a very fruitful spread, quite literally. So let's move on. Let's draw a few more cards. I want to know what other blessings are coming for my clearly abundant pile 3s. Okay. Collecting. Let's draw a couple more. What are we collecting? Collecting in your backyard. Okay, so for some of you, this is a very specific message to start gardening. Yep. Some of you might want to start your own gardening business, is what I just heard. So in your backyard, that to me says, it's kind of a message of being resourceful, that you have all the tools at your disposal. You just need to look at it through a different lens. You need to gain a different perspective. Maybe you wanted to start a new job, a new career, start a shop. You wanted to be a shop owner. You probably actually have the ability to do that now. It's just, you lack the self-confidence. You're being gifted it, okay? This is coming for you undeniably. This is absolutely the strongest reading of pure abundance, no matter what way you look at it, regardless of the lens the tarot reader put on. Okay, this is an amazing energy coming through. You are fruitful right now, okay? This abundance, these keys to unlocking your success are these 2 larger cards right here, and they all have to do with fruit and nature, okay? So some of you are being told to ground yourselves and to connect with nature, but I'm also hearing grow your own food, take care of a plant. When you take your mind off something, especially if those of you are manifesting, the moment you take your mind off that blessing can come through. Okay? And yeah, it's just undeniable. Start a garden this year. I mentioned earlier in this reading with the sunflowers that my sunflower bed is blooming. You know what? I don't live in the most beautiful part of Los Angeles. There is quite a bit of gray around me, and I'm extremely sensitive. I'm an extra sensitive person, and I need lush life, to feel inspired. I'm really affected by my environment, and you might be too. And I think if you're in a situation where you're lacking abundance, literal abundance in the form of nature, we're being told, to make that. okay, to bring the nature to you. So go to the little the farm store, the Lowe's, the Home Depot, the plant safari near you to bring nature into your backyard, to bring life in, because I think just a lot of happiness and hope will be the key to unlocking everything trying to move through and everything coming for you regardless. I say regardless because you guys have an overabundance of major arcana cards which talk about fated events, okay? The minor are mutable, okay? So you have the ability to change and swap out these energies, but these major events are coming through and you have the most positive aspect of them, which is incredible to see. Pile 3. I do want to draw from one more pile. Let's get some last messages. What are we bringing in? What's coming next for my pile 3s? Find new roads. Okay. So that again, it really talks about resourcefulness to me. Find new ways. I think that you just need to gain a different perspective. Summer. Summer and go. Okay. So find new roads with summer and go talks about a road trip this summer. And summer, June 21st isn't that far away. But I also very specifically read this sun card as, summer. It just says summer splendor all over it. And go, really talks about that, lit up energy, that motivation, that passion and inspiration, just pure energy. So we're drawing attention to this sun card, which again is just a celebration. And if I haven't convinced you yet that you have a lot coming for you, so many blessings and hope, if I haven't given you the self-confidence, that's drawing you back here again, okay? You guys have reached the sun card, the celebration, you've done some work, okay? And I think we want to treat ourselves, honestly. And there are other indications about how to bring even more abundance and, by starting this garden this summer, I think this summer has a lot of gold is what I just heard. So gold, again, can just be enlightenment, spiritual enlightenment for you guys. But also, what is money? I think we give money, a negative spin. But money really is just a renewable, sorry, I'm stumbling over my words. A renewable source of energy. And money gives us the freedom to make choices and to go wherever we want, okay? So I'm sensing that have the confidence to go after this. It was a creative project for you or a new direction, a life purpose that you gain from having this perspective and tapping into your intuition. We're being told to, go for it, okay? Almost like the Fool card, to take a leap of faith. And honestly, he honestly should be in the spread for, where this direction is. So that's what I'm getting, for huge messages of abundance and blessings coming your way. I hope this resonated with you, Pile 3. If it did, I would love to hear about it in the comment section, or you can leave me a big thumbs up. And if you want to see more messages like this in the future, you can press subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Stay divine, because you are.